On September 21st, 2004, Green Day released their seventh album, American Idiot. American Idiot was very well received critically. It was nominated for Album of the Year and won the award for Best Rock Album at the 2005 Grammy Awards. Yet, even after telling you all this, I bet you are still wondering how on earth a Green Day album became a successful musical. Well, in today's video, I'll be breaking down the entire American Idiot musical, from the plot to the characters and more. This is the American Idiot musical. Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? I am one of those melodramatic fools, neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid? Am I just stoned? I went to a shrink to analyze my dreams. Now, like me, I'm sure you're wondering, how do you turn a Green Day album into a musical? Well, that's what this section is all about. I'll be telling you the entire plot, which is pretty long, so you might want to buckle up. Set in the recent past, the musical opens on a group of suburban youths living unhappily in Jingletown, USA, and saturated with TV. Fed up with the State of the Union, the company explodes in frustration, which is the song American Idiot. If you see it, that's what it plays first. One of the youths, Johnny, goes to the Commercet. How do you say that word?
Commiserate.
Right. Commiserate. I don't know why I couldn't say that word. It's pretty weird. Anyways, Johnny goes to commiserate with his friend Will, which is when Jesus of Suburbia kicks in. A third friend, Tunny, joins the two, and they party until they run out of beer, prompting them to pick up more at the local 7-Eleven. Tunny soon exposes the do-nothing, go-nowhere quicksand of their lives, which is the song City of the Damned. They get riled up, and Johnny challenges his friends to engage, which is when I Don't Care kicks in. Will's girlfriend, Heather, soon makes an appearance. She's pregnant and doesn't know what to do. Dearly beloved. Johnny borrows money and buys bus tickets to leave the city for the three young men, eager to escape suburbia. Before the boys are able to leave, Heather tells Will of a pregnancy. With no other choice, he stays home. Tales of a broken home. Johnny and Tunny depart for the city with a group of other jaded youths. Holiday. While Johnny wanders the city and pines for a woman, he sees an apartment window, beloved of broken dreams. Tunny finds it hard to adjust to urban life and is seduced by a television ad for the army, favorite son. Tunny realizes that his generation has been so numbered and apathetic that nothing, not even the bright lights of the city, will excite him. Are we the waiting? And he enlists in the army. A frustrated Johnny conjures a rebellious, powerful reflection of himself called St. Jimmy and shoots heroin for the first time, which is when St. Jimmy kicks in. Back in Jingletown, Will sits on the couch as his girlfriend's pregnancy progresses. He drinks beer and begs for a release. Meanwhile, Tunny is deployed to a war zone and is soon shot and wounded. Give me Novocaine. Johnny spends the night with the girl he saw in the window, whom he calls What's-Her-Name. Johnny is spending with What's-Her-Name and wants to celebrate, but St. Jimmy has other plans for them. The last of the American girls, she's a rebel. Johnny and What's-Her-Name go to a club, shoot drugs together, and have passionate sex. By this time, Will and Heather's baby girl has been born, and Will is increasingly oblivious as Heather tenderly commits herself to her baby's future. Last night on Earth. Heather has had enough of Will's pot and alcohol-fueled apathy. Despite Will's protestations, she takes the baby and walks out, too much too soon. Around the same time, lying in bed in an army hospital before the lobotomy, Tunny falls victim to the hopelessness he has seen during wartime and hallucinates. He and his nurse engage in a balletic aerial dance, Extraordinary Girl. He quickly falls in love with her. His hallucination disappears, and he is left with his fellow soldiers in agony before the lobotomy reprise. Back in the city, Johnny reveals the depth of his love for What's-Her-Name as she sleeps when it's time. The temptation of drugs, however, is too great. Jimmy forces Johnny to become increasingly erratic, and he eventually threatens What's-Her-Name and then himself with the knife. Know your enemy. What's-Her-Name attempts to talk to about Johnny's behavior, while the Extraordinary Girl addresses Tunny's wounds, and Will sits on the couch, once again alone. 21 Guns. Quick side note, that was not in, American Idiot, but, Anyways, Johnny leaves a note for What's-Her-Name, saying he has chosen Jimmy and drugs over her. Frightened and fed up, What's-Her-Name tells Johnny that he is not the Jesus of Suburbia, and reveals that Saint Jimmy is nothing more than a figment of his father's rage and his mother's love. Letter bomb. She leans him. Hurt by What's-Her-Name's departure, Johnny longs for better days ahead. Tony longs for home, and Will longs for all the things he lost. Waking up in September, Saint Jimmy appears and makes one last attempt to get Johnny's attention, but that part of Johnny has died, resulting in a metaphorical suicide of Saint Jimmy. There's a song in the musical that's not in the album, but it's really funny in the musical, if you Google it. Johnny cleans up and gets a desk job, but soon realizes there is no place for him in the city. East 12th Street. Also not in the album. Will, all alone with his television, bemoans his outcast state. Nobody likes you. Another song that's not on the album. As he finally gets up off the couch, Heather appears with her new show-off rock star boyfriend, rock and roll girlfriend. Once again, another song that is not in the album. Will heads to the 7-Eleven to get away from them, and surprisingly finds Johnny there. Johnny has sold his guitar for a bus ticket home. Tony returns from the war zone as the amputee with the extraordinary girl. As Tony introduces his friends to the extraordinary girl, Johnny becomes furious with him for leaving the group, but quickly forgives him as the three friends embrace. Heather and her boyfriend arrive. In an uneasy truce, she gives a baby to Will. Other friends show up to greet the three men as they haven't seen in a year. We're coming home again. Another song on the album. 1 year later, Johnny laments that he lost the love of his life, but he accepts that he can live inside the struggle between rage and love that has defined his life. With his acceptance comes a possibility of hope. What's-Her-Name? After the cast take their bows, the curtain rises to reveal the entire company with guitars, with which they perform the song Good Riddance, Time of Your Life. While I did talk about the plot of the musical, there's one thing I didn't really talk about that will be in the next video, and that is the fact that this musical was almost a movie. But I'll get into that, later on and stuff. But I just want to thank you for watching the video. I worked really hard on this. I hope that it does well. And I credited all the songs that I used in here in the description below, and all the footage I used, which was basically just one big footage, and I will link everything that I used in the description below. But I will see you in the next video.